3, 2, 1.
Good Wednesday morning to everybody, and welcome to the one and only, can't clone us, KSAT News Now.
What's
going on?
Nothing. It's a big day because our super producer, Alicia, is back.
Yeah, what's up, Alyssa? How you doing?
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi.
she's recording some stuff on her phone right now.
Per
Who knows
usual,
where this is
she
gonna
kills
show
it
up.
with the
Yeah.
reels.
Absolutely. So we are streaming podcasting from the KSAT 12 studios in beautiful downtown San
Jeez,
Antonio.
You are all the
It is a
accolades
beautiful
this morning. It is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah,
All right.
San Antonio. I mean, just a beautiful city.
All right. Well, this morning, laid back and stylish all at once. A new shirt born from the streets of Fiesta.
Oh,
What
yeah.
could it be?
Oh yeah,
I'm
this
sure
is
you'll
gonna
love
be
it.
a pretty cool story here. And the singer on top of the world gets his own college course, but this is interesting here. So why this course is also challenging traditional masculine thoughts and opinions.
So are we talking about like machismo?
Yes, we are
Okay.
talking about that.
All right, so we'll talk about that. Plus, the captivating case of Lina Khil getting some national attention. We'll tell you about that, but first.
But first, yes, this situation at Jefferson High School yesterday, which we were following throughout the afternoon. Hundreds of parents swarmed Jeff High School after hearing reports that shots had been fired there, and some of those reports even coming from their own children who contacted them on their cell phones.
And the big thing here that we do want to reiterate, there was no shooting. This is just getting attention because of how chaotic it is, and of course, this follows a few months after Robb Elementary, so it just shows you how concerned or on edge parents and students are. So these reports led to chaos outside of the high school. One man in the crowd even cut his arm trying to break a window to get inside the campus, which was on lockdown at the time.
Yeah, and again, these reports of this shooting turned out to actually be a false alarm. Police and school officials still had a very hard time controlling that crowd. Many parents were upset over what they said was just generally a lack of information, and especially long waits for the students to be released from classrooms.
Yeah, SAISD Superintendent Jaime Aquino said parents were understandably anxious for their children to be released, but staff could not come out to inform them what was happening since, again, this was the lockdown that was going on. Close to 90 officers were at the campus to help with controlling the crowd.
Yeah, that included SAPD officers and, of course, officers from the school district as well. And I thought you brought up the biggest point there was that there are a lot of parents and families obviously on edge right now.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, just the trying to just get information and then you're getting it from your own children that are inside. I think there were some children saying that they had to maybe go turn off the lights or kind of get into full lockdown mode, what that was. And so, yeah, I think it was a very kind of a scary scene there, but you hate to see kind of when the parents and the officers kind of start wrestling back and forth and clashing here.
And why is that? Because a lot of the parents, again, on edge because of what we saw fold out in Uvalde a couple months ago. So again, good news there is that nothing happened. It was a false alarm and precautions were taken. And again, this is another lesson for not only SAISD, but other school districts on how to handle these situations.
Yeah, so the district said that they sent a voice message, then an email around 2 o'clock, but that they plan to add a text message option there in the future to just try and notify parents as much as possible as to what is going on. But also, at the same time, you know, during these lockdowns, during these investigations, they can't release every bit of information, but I think just keeping parents updated, letting them know that everyone's safe is definitely helpful in the long run.
Absolutely. All right, so to our next story this is hard to believe. I actually had to like triple check the date. So it's been 9 months since Lina Khil was last seen at her apartment complex playground. She disappeared on December 20th of last year, and that prompted multiple search efforts. However, still no clue on what happened to Lina Khil.
That is unbelievable. Well, now her case is getting national attention. This is called In Pursuit with John Walsh, and will feature a segment on Lina tonight. So the show streams on Discovery Plus and will also encourage people to submit tips by calling 1-833-3 PURSUE, Pursue, or online at inpursuittips.com.
Yeah, so throughout the course of her disappearance, SAPD has really, maintained that this is a missing persons case and not an abduction case. even with members of the community saying otherwise, right? So we do have a podcast, South Texas Crime Stories. They have a great episode on this case. It aired, or it was uploaded. What is it? Is that what you say? It was uploaded.
Yeah, it was uploaded
over the summer.
Yeah.
So, and you hear from SAPD Chief William McManus, so which is very important. He explains, what the difference is and why they are still treating this as a missing persons case.
Right. And if you need some background information on everything that's happened, because as we mentioned, 9 months so far, but anyone with information on this case is asked to contact ACPD's Missing Persons Unit at 210-207-7660 or Crime Stoppers, of course, at 210-224-7867. And remember, you can remain anonymous when you make these tips. And, these national features, sometimes they do a lot of good because they absolutely get her pictures out there again, the stories out there again, and maybe if someone has either come across Lina, or seen something, there can at least be some sort of lead, because this has just been a really, really devastating case from the start.
It keeps her case at the forefront, so definitely good to see that it's getting national attention through this show. Yeah. Well, now to immigration. Here's the latest going on with the busloads of migrants. So New York City Mayor Eric Adams says they're running out of housing space for these migrants.
Mayor Adams said at least 11,000 migrants have arrived since May, and now the city is exploring the possibility of housing migrants on cruise ships. Yes, on cruise ships.
Yeah, so no decisions have been made just yet. However, already immigration advocates say that they're against this option as they fear the dock location could make it hard for migrants and those with disabilities to have access to jobs, healthcare, schools, and just many other opportunities.
And in this case, of the migrants that Sheriff Salazar said were lured into a chartered flight from San Antonio, there's now a lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and his transportation secretary. That's a story that we've obviously been following over the past couple of days.
So this lawsuit claims the migrants, again, they were here in San Antonio outside of the migrant center, that they were allegedly lured by someone, that they were promised a trip to Boston or Washington, which of course we saw that was not the case. And they were also allegedly promised a $10 gift card for fast food. And to be specific, it's that McDonald's that's right across the street from that migrant center. So new details on that. And, this is ongoing. Just yesterday, that was the story that I focused on, and seeing the migrants outside. If you haven't been in that area, it's off San Pedro, close to North Star Mall. And just speaking to them and what they're going through, my big question was, have you been warned of, any safety risk following this incident of the flights to Martha's Vineyard? And they said that the migrant center, according to them, these migrants, that the migrant center personnel had not let them know, had not warned them. It's really hearsay, and others that are driving up to the parking lot to make donations of food, toys, clothes for them. They are the ones telling them, hey, are you aware of this? Don't accept money. Don't accept any transportation from people you don't know.
Well, I think even in your reporting yesterday, the one part that also just stuck out with me was the gift card. Something as simple as here's $10 for food. Yeah. Obviously a necessity, and to think that that would be something to try and lure someone into potentially leaving the state, or just, it's definitely a difficult, complicated situation. And the Migrant Resource Center here, that's run by the city, right? But it's for now, but there's also Catholic Charities and everyone that kind of helps donate and helps people there.
Yeah. Last point with this story, just so you get an idea of why a migrant would say, I'll hop on a plane in exchange for a $10 gift card for food. Yesterday, I spoke to one migrant from Venezuela. Her name's Elena, and she was with her 3 children from ages 3 to about 16, and her husband. They have been here in San Antonio for 8 days, and they have $30 to their name.
Yeah.
And yesterday, they were doing the math on how they could buy a Cece's pizza and some beverage and still have money to make it to Houston.
Yeah.
So just so you get an idea of how difficult that situation is, I know people have different opinions, but it is important to see, the struggles that they are facing. And this woman did say, for any migrant out there, if you're thinking about making the journey and you don't have family here in the U.S., don't do it. it's not worth it. So with that, what I noticed yesterday, a lot of the migrants just looking for some type of shade. It was super hot yesterday. So that brings in Justin. Good morning.
Yes.
Hey, good morning to you guys.
How hot is it going to be? I mean, we talked about the first full day of fall.
Trying to break records here.
You're trying. I'm not. Again, I'll say what I said
100-degree
yesterday. Y'all go
record.
stand outside.
Friday's the day where I think we probably may break a record. And the question is, do we get to that triple-digit mark?
Yeah.
It's entirely possible. So that's what we're going to be watching over the next couple days. Here is your weather trivia question. I had to dig deep for this one, guys.
I saw your face earlier. It looked a little sneaky.
So, okay,
You got
work
a
with me
sneaky
here.
Jay Horn face.
Which of these songs that all perfectly describe our current forecast was a Billboard Hot 100 #1? That's the important part here. Was it A, Heat Waves by Glass Animals, popular song, No Rain by Blind Melon, The Heat Is On by Glenn Frey, or Cruel Summer by Bananarama?
Can I?
That was a little before your time, Alicia.
I was going to say, can I?
Cruel Summer's made a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
I just want to state that I don't know what any of these songs or any of these groups
Heat
are.
Waves has been popular for like the last.
Maybe if I hear it.
You would
but I
know
doubt
it.
it.
You would know it.
The
Hey, Siri,
heat
play
is
it.
on.
Yeah, that's a
The
classic.
heat is on. No, okay.
A little off tune, but
Cruel
that's
Summer,
good.
I think, has kind of made a little comeback. It's one
Cruel
of those
Summer's
80s
been
thing
remade
that's been-
several
yeah,
times.
It's come back.
I'm pretty sure like Ace of Base redid it at one point. I don't
Wow. Okay, you're
Throwback.
aging yourself a little bit
know.
there.
No Rain's a classic. I mean, that's
Oh my gosh, that's
quintessential
Siri.
90s.
That's Siri.
No rain,
I was trying to cheat.
and I don't understand why.
Okay,
I sleep.
enough with your
I'm gonna
singing.
go Blind Melon. No Rain. That's my
Okay.
jam from the
Good
early
choice.
90s.
Good choice.
And I start to
Please stop.
complain 'cause there's
The heat is on. I guess D, Cruel Summer, because that's what it's been.
Well, it has been.
yeah.
Okay. Alyssa, do you have a guess? No, she's got nothing.
She's probably like, I don't know any of these songs. either.
Okay. Well, the answer is actually Heat Waves
Dang
by
it.
Glass Animals,
Wow.
which has been around. I mean, you still hear it on the radio now. It was #1 for 5 weeks in March of 2022, this year.
Where'd that
What?
one go?
It was #1. All I Think About Is You. You know that song?
Oh my
Yes.
Lord. Wow. Okay.
All I
Yeah.
think about is you.
All
All I
night,
think
all
about is you. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
Making words.
But that's not the original. That's not the original.
I think it is.
Happy or not.
Really?
I believe so. The Heat Is On was
Okay.
#2 in March of 1985. Cruel Summer #9 in September of 1984. And No Rain was #20.
Not even
It's as high
close.
as it got,
Yeah.
November of 1993.
Bummer.
Anyway, little music trivia there.
Shout out
for
Blind
you.
Melon.
Some throwback. Love it. Good songs, by the way.
Great songs.
Let's talk about this summertime heat, this cruel summer. High pressure over top of us. 97 today, 98 in Austin, 96 in San Angelo. And this thing doesn't move much. So tomorrow we go 99, 100 in Austin. And then by Friday, we're still sticking with 99 degrees. Could we hit 100? Like I said, it's possible. I think we'll be right on the cusp there. But 99 in Austin. So those are kind of the 3 hottest days. After that, the high pressure finally moves. We get a little area of low pressure across Mexico, throw some clouds in our direction. It gets slightly cooler over the weekend. And I do mean slightly because we're still talking mid-90s, just won't be in the upper 90s. Humidity does increase a little bit, though, this weekend. Let's look at the high temperatures here. So 97 today, 99 Thursday, Friday, 96 Saturday, 96 Sunday. I think we finally get a little bit of relief next week, but still not much. We're still above average. Even with a weak frontal boundary, we're still going to keep temperatures above the average of 88 degrees. Here's the big picture, and high pressure is directing everything up and around us. We've got rain up across the northern plains, some severe weather this afternoon, or this morning, I should say, across parts of Michigan. And now let's go out to the tropics. We've got our hurricane here, Fiona, and winds are at 130 miles per hour, gusting to 160. This is a Category 4 storm, huge storm, dangerous storm. Good news here is it's out over open waters for the most part, and that is going to be the case as it heads north towards Bermuda. Probably scrapes Bermuda. The worst of it will be just to the west. Then as it goes north, weakens as it moves up into Canada over the weekend. But that's not it. There's so much more out there going on. Things are really heating up in the tropics. This is Tropical Storm Gaston. It moves over open waters. Weekends probably not a big deal. Meantime, there's a wave coming off of Africa. 50% chance of development with that, 30% chance of development with this wave, and this is the one that we need to watch closely. All of us here along the Gulf Coast, 90% chance of development, almost a sure thing once it gets into the Caribbean that this will develop into something. Still a little disorganized right now. Here are our spaghetti plots. So by Monday, this is moving into the Caribbean, and the environment here is ripe for development. So I suspect that we'll get a tropical storm by this point. Then the question becomes, where does it go from there? Most of the models want to take this north into the Gulf of Mexico and kind of turn it towards Florida. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. Until we get a center of circulation, we get a little better grasp on this and get some data with this, I don't want to say with any great certainty where this is going to go. I would just say that all of the Gulf Coast needs to keep an eye on this until we have a little better idea. But certainly folks in Florida, anywhere from New Orleans down to Miami, but even Texas, need to watch this very, very closely going forward. Our extended forecast, 99, as we said, tomorrow for the official day, first day of fall. Full day will be Friday. First official full day will be on Friday, where we could be setting records. There you see more clouds over the weekend. On Monday, I did add in a small chance of rain with a weak frontal boundary. We thought it would be coming through early Monday. Now the models are pushing it back a little bit, which holds off some of that drier and quote-unquote cooler air for Tuesday. Maybe a nice morning on Tuesday. But this is a cruel way to end summer. I'll put it that way. And Blind Melon had it right. No rain, except for maybe Monday.
And I don't understand.
And maybe, a big maybe.
What's the average temperature usually for the first day of fall?
Upper 80s.
Oh,
80.
Yeah, I mean, so we're way above average here.
ooh,
10
that's not good.
degrees.
10 degrees, yes.
Thanks for bringing us all the good news today.
I know, yeah.
Anytime.
Great weather trivia 101 question, though.
I tried.
Yeah, mad
Dug
respect.
deep for that one.
Mad respect.
Well, no sweater weather here, huh?
Nope.
No sweater
Sweater
weather.
weather, sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
weather, yes.
That sounds weird now.
Okay, so speaking of music here, as Justin just dropped some knowledge on us, and also because this next story, our producer, Alicia, she's back. She's the biggest Bad Bunny fan
I don't know about
in the
biggest.
history of the universe, ever in time.
She's a hardcore fan. I will say that. But anyways, well, the sounds and stylings of Latin superstar Bad Bunny, aka El Conejo Malo, is now coming to a California classroom.
All right, check this out. San Diego State University is offering a course on the global superstar next semester, and it will focus on the reggaeton singer's impact on the Latinx culture.
Question, now, Alyssa, did you make that graphic, that first one?
Totally.
You did? Wow, y'all have to watch the video version of this. It's very impressive. All right, so this course will be part of the school's journalism program. The professor teaching it says Bad Bunny has changed the reggaeton music industry and is challenging traditional modes of Latinx masculinity. So we're talking about machismo.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing there, because obviously we've seen throughout the history of a lot of Latin music that's been a big part of the culture and a big part of the sounds there. So the professor says Bad Bunny has flipped the script when it comes to masculinity in the Latin music world by showing how authentic, loving, and endearing that it could all be.
Yeah, Bad Bunny is the latest star to get his own college course. In July, we talked about Texas, did we talk about that one? Well, Texas State University announced a course around Harry Styles, and UT Austin offering a course of Taylor Swift.
Copycatters.
I do want to say that this isn't, so the reason I guess why they would do this course at San Diego State University is because Bad Bunny has been very outspoken about misogyny and machismo. When he accepted an award back in 2020, he spoke out about sexism and violence against women. So he's very outspoken about this.
And and that's absolutely something that the professor here said. He told CBS News, he said, when you think about reggaeton, it's hyper masculine, machista. Actually, I've not even heard that word before used. I've heard machismo.
Machista.
Yeah.
Machismo is the idea of it, right? And then if I say, tú eres un machista, then I'm talking that you believe in the machismo.
Okay, I feel you, yeah. And he basically said that it's embedded in the core of a lot of reggaeton music, which, yeah, you know, reggaeton music I think has evolved over time for sure, and to see Bad Bunny kind of doing these types of things, he's on top of the world right now, so he can not do any wrong.
Well, another point before we move on, I mean, it is important to talk about this because things are changing, right? Ideas are changing, and Bad Bunny, he's one of the ones that like kind of reminds me a lot of Harry Styles and his style. Bad Bunny has come out on red carpets with long nails, right, which are traditionally categorized just for women. And even in just his style, some would say that it is more feminine, and I guess that's his way of proving that no, there are no gender lines when it comes to how you want to dress or accessorize, right?
Yeah. He always looks good. So
He looks
hey,
fly.
he always looks fly. He always looks very stylish there. So hey, speaking of looking fly, stylish, I'm sure a lot of people. I know we're still months away from Fiesta, but here we go. Whataburger, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, but it's not with food. Instead, they describe their newest item as laid back and stylish. What could it be?
Yeah, I will say that you don't just need this for Fiesta. It's part of. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox here. Anyways, Whataburger just launched a guayabera with W's embroidered in their signature orange. The Flying W guayabera sells for about $45. My big question is, RJ, you wear guayaberas. Would you wear this one? Would you buy this one?
You know what? I was looking at it on the website earlier, and yeah,
It looks
I think
nice.
I like it. Yeah, the embroidery is really cool. I like the color. I think the color pops, obviously, and I like
That
the
belt,
fact that
they have these belts. The belt is nice.
And I like the fact that it's white. It's got the orange
W's
there. Yeah,
embroidered,
very nice,
yeah.
very nice. It's very like a fresh color. You know what I'm saying? Which again, you're right, can be used for Hispanic Heritage Month, but
Or
also
any day.
rock
In San
that
Antonio,
for-
they wear
yes.
guayaberas. The gentlemen wear guayaberas all the time.
Speaking,
year
shout out
round.
to David Hurtado. That guy always wears really nice guayaberas
And
here. I don't know if he's
nice
listening to us. Yeah, but he has some nice.
There's
nice
some
clothes.
giggles in the newsroom. You know David, he's always wearing guayabera.
Yeah, he's always styling, profiling too, just like Bad Bunny.
Just
we all,
like Bad
we
Bunny,
all strive
absolutely.
to be David Hurtado some days.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. We will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. And be sure to share this podcast or the video, whatever you're watching. Have a good day.